All right, violin and viola players, it is time to talk about the bow. We've had this in our case for quite some time, and now we're going to take it out and we're going to figure out how to prepare it and then also how to hold it so that we can play some of our songs, arco style or with the bow. So we should have found our bow in the case with the hair pretty close to the stick. In this case, mine is even a little wiggly. You can see those hairs hanging down. But we need to prepare this so that it's ready for rosin and then for playing by tightening up the bow hair. And to do that, we find at the end of our bow a screw that works like any other screw that we know, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I'm holding my bow so that the tip is on pointing toward my left, and I'm going to use my right hand to turn away from me, which makes my frog move, tightening up the bow. So as I tighten, I'm taking a look between the stick and the hair right there to make sure that it's about the width of my pinky finger. Now, as I'm checking that out, I don't want to touch the bow hair. We want to keep our fingers and actually other things off the bow hair so that it doesn't get dirty and have to then be either rehaired or cleaned. So we're careful not to touch the bow hair with our hands. Now, right about there is a good width, a good visual to have for a tightened bow. Now, the bow can go farther than that. We can tighten it farther than that. And if I was talking to my friends and I'm tightening my bow and I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing, you could see that the stick, instead of being in a smiley face shape, has now gone in the other direction, and this is too tight for playing. So now I'm going to have to loosen that up so I'm in the ready to play position. So quick loosening of the bow so that we're back to a little smile and about pinky width in the middle of the bow. Now we're all tightened up in the ready to play position. We have to do one more thing before we play some tunes, and we need to add some rosin. Now rosin is hardened up tree sap, which then makes the bow hair sticky enough to pull the string and make some sound. So I'm holding the rosin in my left hand and I'm holding the bow in my right and gliding it back and forth on the rosin. Now it's sometimes hard to tell how many times you need to do this. A good rule of thumb is 10 swipes, and it should give you enough rosin to do some good playing. Now for brand new bows, we probably need a little bit more than that. If your bow's been played before, it probably has enough on there to just do a 10 swipes and you're ready to go. Sometimes if you put too much rosin, you might find that all of a sudden you're playing and you have white clouds of dust around your instrument and even in the air, and that just is an indication that you have too much on, and it will come off as you play. So I've rosined up my bow, and now I have to determine where I put my fingers, because there's a special place we want to put all of our fingers to make the best sound. So I've taken my bow and I'm holding it now with my left hand in the middle on the stick, just so that I can get a good grip and place my fingers in the right spot. And the first thing I want to try and do is place my thumb. So our thumbs are always going to point up to the ceiling, and their home is right here between the frog, this part right here, and the grip, which in my bow is a little black right here and it has a silver part right there. So there's a little cutout right there, a little indent where my thumb pointing up to the ceiling is going to go right in. You want to be careful to avoid trying to get your thumb right in that cutout area, because that just will hurt after a while if you play there. So get your thumb established right there, and then we're going to take our fingers and we're going to flop them right over the top. Now, once those fingers are flopped over the top, there's one other adjustment we need to make this a violin or a viola bow hold. Our pinky finger always rests on the top of the stick. And what that does is it then makes it so our hand angles in the correct direction so that we can make some good sounds on our instrument, because remember, we're holding our instrument up in our left hand up on our shoulder. So after you've flopped your fingers, pick your pinky up and put it on the top of the stick, and then check one more thing before you get ready to play. Check to be sure that the stick of the bow is resting between your first finger knuckles. And if you need to adjust your finger back or need to adjust your finger forward a little bit to find that spot, then you'll have a ready to go bow hold.